Hello, good cousins. Hello, lords and ladies. It's Shakespeare Day. The final day of the week, man. I was acting for money this week, this past week, and so I'm a little late. But this is going to be fun. Act 2, Scene 1. Starts with the chorus again. He started Act 1. And the chorus is just an actor of the troupe talking to the audience directly. And because this is Romeo and Juliet, the chorus speaks in a sonnet, which is just a charming rhyming form that lifts. And of course, Shakespeare's pretty much biography is the sonnets, a collection of poems that he wrote. And it's the closest thing we have to his biography, but I digress. So the chorus comes out and basically saying that he's kind of just bringing us up to speed about what we've seen so far. That Romeo has changed, his heart has changed from loving Rosalind, to now Juliet is his love. And that now they're kind of screwed because they found out that their families are at war. And so I'll read it for you. Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair, for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks, but to his foe supposed he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers use to swear, and she as much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet. So, their passion is going to get them around all of the obstacles that their families are going to be putting up in this love. The chorus is not telling you what's going to happen after they get around those obstacles and really, really get together. But for right now, it's hopeful. And there's just one allusion to fishing. It's a common Elizabethan kind of thing about lovers going fishing for the other lover, trying to catch them on their hook, and that she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. So they have their work cut out for them, he's saying, basically. And then enter Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio after the party. And Romeo says, "Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center here." And then he splits. He just ghosts them. He just leaves. And so he's basically saying that my heart is in Juliet's bosom at this point, and I have to turn around. He can't leave. So we don't see him anymore. Now, this scene is very fun, but I'm just going to have to admit, Shakespeare is the bloodiest and the naughtiest playwright I have ever read in my life. And he doesn't shy away from sexual innuendo. So this chapter, this recording today is going to be R-rated. It has to be if we're going to discuss the play. So if you have kids in the room, maybe you want to put on headphones at this point. But we're going to be honest about what this stuff means. Benvolio immediately is like, "Romeo, my cousin Romeo, where'd you go?" And Mercutio said, "Oh, he is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed." Benvolio said, "He ran this way and leapt the orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio." And Mercutio being Mercutio, he's always a smart ass, says, "Nay, I'll conjure too," as if Romeo is some ghost, because he's ghosted them, I guess. "Romeo, humors, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied." He's making fun of Romeo for rhyming, because that's what lovers do, is they rhyme. "Cry but I, me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word, one nickname for her purblind son and heir, young Abram Cupid, that he that shot so trim when King Cophetua loved the beggar maid." Okay, hold on there for a second. In Shakespeare's time, words and their good use were the special effects of the day. They were the fireworks of their day. That's how people told each other that they were smart. It's how they tried to dominate each other. It was everything in the Elizabethan world. The ability to turn a good phrase. And so Mercutio is making fun of Romeo for being in love in the first place, and also calling out to him to try to get him to come back. "Speak thou to my gossip Venus one fair word." So Venus, we know who Venus is. One nickname for her purblind son and heir, young Abram Cupid. Now, young Abraham, is both youthful and patriarchal. It's referring to Cupid, or love. Cupid was both the youngest and the oldest of the gods. I didn't know that. Now, once you explain the joke, it's no longer funny. But I didn't know. I had to read the footnote. That is the joke. And then King Cophetua loved the beggar maid. Apparently, King Cophetua married and made his wife his maid. It gets pretty thick, and this is the thing. When Shakespearean characters joke, they usually get very complicated, and they are bringing in, Shakespeare brings in all of these different literary references because he's trying to joke in a very witty way so that the fireworks really burn brightly, and it presents a bit of a challenge to a modern ear, and we people that don't know who King Cophetua was, and we don't know that Cupid was Venus's child, we don't know all this stuff. So it's best to get through that part. But like the scholars in the audience would be laughing so hard for that one. But anyway, Mercutio, he's making fun of Romeo, calling after him in a very wonderful way. And then, silence. So he says, "He heareth not, he stirreth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domain that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us." So he's treating Romeo as if he's a spirit now, and conjuring him. Now when he says, "and the domain that there adjacent lie to her quivering thigh," we're talking about the part of a woman that a man doesn't have. So he's conjuring Romeo by talking about her vagina. And Benvolio's like, "Hey, if he hears thee, thou wilt anger him. Don't talk about her that way." And Mercutio says, "Oh, this cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise the spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand." Wait a minute. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress's circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. Now, his mistress's circle is again her lady part, of some strange nature, he's alluding to the part of a man that a woman doesn't have. So he's basically, like, I'll just read the footnote here. Mercutio also means, quote, for the penis of some stranger to become erect in his mistress's vagina, letting it stay erect there until she had brought it to ejaculate and made it lose its erection. I'm just reading the Pelican Shakespeare footnotes, guys. Like, especially for the Americans in our audience tonight, we're all Puritans. And all of this stuff is whoa, But in Shakespeare's time, this was just called humor. So Mercutio is saying, if he's starting, a circle is what a sorcerer draws on the ground, and then he forces the spirit down to earth, and the spirit is held in that circle. Anyway, all of our Dresden fans know this too. So. When Mercutio says to raise a spirit in his mistress's circle, so Mercutio's been playing around like he's conjuring Romeo like he's a spirit, and he said that he's using his mistress's circle. He's also saying that the mistress's circle is her lady parts. And if he was going to conjure some stranger to be there, and then they would have that would be offensive. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Hope I'm making sense. I'm blushing myself. Benvolio takes all this. That would be some spite. This is still Mercutio. My invocation is fair and honest. In his mistress's name, I conjure only but to raise up him. So I'm only inviting him into her circle, so he can't be offended. Mercutio's just such a smart ass. Benvolio says, come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love and best befits the dark. So he's hiding from us. Benvolio's like, forget it. Stop calling to him. He's not going to come. He's hiding from us. Mercutio says, oh, if love is blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under the medlar tree. Okay, medlar is a kind of apple, which is also a metaphor for the lady part. Now will he sit under the medlar tree and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open ass, and thou a poppering pear. Open ass is actually just another way of referring to the medlar fruit. So that's just another vagina reference. Poppering pear is a phallic-shaped pear and is meant to be a phallus. So, oh, Romeo, that she were an open ass and thou a poppering pear is another filthy joke. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go? Truckle bed is a bed in a house. A soldier's bed is one in a field. A field bed is a soldier's bed, one in the field open to open air. He's just basically saying, I'm not going to go to sleep out here. I'm going to go home. Benvolio says, go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him that here means not to be found. So, delightful scene. I keep coming at it from wondering, wishing that I were an Elizabethan audience member, that I could hear this and have the education to appreciate all of it. What's also interesting is that Shakespeare, in the Globe Theater, you had all of the highly educated and rich people who were up in the stands, and then you had what were called the groundlings, which were the common folk, the less educated people, and they paid much less. They didn't sit like the people upstairs do. They stood closer to the stage, actually. That's where the orchestra, where the more expensive seats are now in modern theater. But Shakespeare wrote jokes, and he wrote jokes for both. He wrote jokes that were just for the educated people, and he also wrote jokes that everyone could understand. So he would pitch it to the groundlings, and he would pitch it the stuff with Cupid and all that might have been to the more educated people, and the stuff to the groundlings. The stuff with the poppering pear and the medlar fruit was certainly something that they would enjoy. And so maybe it's possible that the plays are calibrated that you'll enjoy them even if you're not educated on all of this stuff. And I think that part of Shakespeare's longevity is because of that. So you can delve as deep as you want. You can understand all of the jokes if you want to do a little homework, or you can kind of sit back and get about half of them anyway. Okay. Happy Shakespeare Day. We'll do this again soon.